about to see the world in action, what we can be. Life with no distractions, we'll get away. This is what we waited for.
Hi guys, so today I am going to be making a corned beef hash. Now this might be a bit of a not controversial one, but I know that there is definitely a lot of different ways that people make corned beef hash. We all put our own spin on it. I believe in the US they don't have baked beans in it, and it's more of like chopped potatoes. We always do ours with baked beans and mashed potato. So this is just how I do it. It's family favourite. It's the way I've always done it. Even Steve, my husband, makes it different to I do when he does cook, which is rare, but he can cook. So anyway, I will take you through step by step the ingredients you will need. It's so simple, and I will show you how I make it and then the finished product. So let's go and have a look. Right, so these are the ingredients you're going to need for your corned beef hash. Obviously, first of all, you're going to need a tin of corned beef. This is just the Prince's one, and it's 340 grams. You're also going to need a tin of baked beans in tomato sauce. So those are your two main ingredients. I always use one chicken stock cube or beef stock cube, it doesn't matter, whatever stock cube you've got, but I just use one of those. Some tomato puree, and then I add some minced garlic or garlic granules, some onion granules, Italian herb seasoning, some black pepper, and a little Worcester sauce, and that is just for the base. And then you just need some potatoes to make your mash and some cheese to grate on the top afterwards. So I'm going to start off with the bottom layer first, because then you can put it in your casserole dish and let it cool down before you add the mash. That way the mash doesn't sink to the bottom. So what I'm going to do now is one by one I'm going to pop my ingredients into my pan and then let it all cook together. I'm just going to use my spatula because corned beef is really soft, obviously, so you really don't need to worry about chopping it up. You can just pop it straight in. What I do, this is a good tin. If there is a lot of fat, you can see a little bit there. If there's loads and loads, then I get a knife and scrape it off first and then pop that in the bin. But this one is a really lean looking corned beef. So I'm just going to chop up my meat. And then to that I'm going to add just one stock cube. You can use any one you like. I'm using chicken. These ones don't crumble brilliantly like OXO cubes do, but it will eventually dissolve in the liquid. So I'm going to use a teaspoon of garlic granules, so you could use garlic powder. Normally I just shake it in, but that's about how much I would use. Also a teaspoon of onion powder, teaspoon of Italian seasonings. It's just like dried mixed Italian herbs. I'm going to use a tablespoon of tomato puree. Put a few good shakes of Worcester sauce, probably about a teaspoon's worth, and then a good grind of black pepper. These things are to taste. If you prefer more pepper, add more. If you don't like pepper, don't add any. I'm not going to add any salt because there's already salt in the corned beef and there's also salt in the stock cube. So that is the only seasonings you will need for this. So what I'm going to do now is put my pan onto a medium heat, and I'm just going to let it all cook together and make a really nice base for our dish. And then it's just a case of peeling and chopping your potatoes and boiling them to make mash, and then layering it in a dish, top with cheese and pop it in the oven. You can make this even easier. When my husband makes it, he literally gets an oven dish, he layers the baked beans at the bottom, then he slices the corned beef over the top, and then he puts mash on top and cheese, and that's it. He doesn't put any seasonings, he doesn't add anything to it. Be interested to know, actually, comment down below, let me know your method if you would like to on how you make this, because I know that, like I said, there's so many different ways of doing it. I've just put my potatoes on to boil and then I'm going to mash those. So here is our filling. It is cooked together. It doesn't need cooking for too long because all the ingredients are pretty much already cooked. So what I'm going to do while my potatoes are boiling, I'm going to put this into an oven dish. So I've just topped my filling with the mashed potato. All I do to my mashed potato is I boil the potatoes in salted water. I add a knob of butter and a dash of milk. I didn't bother filming that part because everyone makes mash their own way and everyone pretty much knows how to make mashed potatoes. I have got a potato ricer, but sometimes it just takes so long loading it up, squeezing it out, loading it up, squeezing it out, that it's easier to do it the old-fashioned way. So all I'm going to do now is cover this with grated cheese and then I'm going to pop it into my oven that's been preheated at about 180 degrees, and it's probably going to take about 25 minutes, and that's it. So I'm going to pop the cheese on. And here it is out of the oven. The top's gone nice and crispy and you can see the layers underneath. You can do this in individual bowls if you'd rather, to make it look a bit prettier, because as you can see when it's dished up it's not the most attractive looking dish, but this goes down a real treat with our family. So I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you have, please give it a big thumbs up and we will see you in our next one.
This is what we waited